Another episode of Gardening on Coffee. Well, our plants love our coffee just as much as we do. We're trying to turn our quaint garden into a tropical paradise using Heidi-Klum orange gingers and also some exotic and rare varieties of Heliconias. We'll show you what our garden looks like now and where we're going to be going. So we've got our silver Bismarck in the middle. We're going to have some rostrata hanging lobster claws in the middle, and then we're going to have some marginatas to frame it out on the right and the left sides. We told you last time that we were probably only expecting one more plant to go ahead and round out what we've got. Like all good plans, it's a fluid situation, and we found another exotic variety that one of our vendors has been able to supply for us. It'll be probably for next year, and it'll just complement our shogun that we've got in the front. The marginatas we think will probably top out around 15 feet, but these we want something a little bit larger to go ahead and frame our silver Bismarck, because again he should get to probably anywhere between 30 and 60 feet, and we'll show you what he looks like again, which is here. And so as he grows much larger, 60 feet will probably be 3 times that structure, and so we're looking for another much larger plant, probably about 20 feet to the right and the left. And we don't think that the marginatas probably will give us that right now. And we were very lucky that our vendors next year should have a different variety of species of plant that we'll be really looking forward to getting. Just for fun, we went ahead and looked it up to see if anybody else had or supplied that particular type, and no one actually does. So we'll be really excited when we do get it. We've already let them know that we'd like to, and those will be our last 2. But you know, again, we like to make a plan and stick to it, but also leave your room for some error. And there never errors. It's just another exciting place to put some more beautiful plants in your house, and they're, as Bob Ross would say, it's only a happy accident. So we're honoring that and just kind of finding other beautiful places that we can put plants and really just maintain a beautiful, gorgeous, lush environment. That's really what we're going for. So a couple more plants is always welcome, and we can always find room for them. So we'll show you where we are in our garden right now. So these are our 4 rostratas, and those are going to be our hanging lobster claws, and those are the pink and orange, or pink and yellow hanging pendulants. We've gone ahead and we've nipped out one of his growths. He had 4. He's been a little bit of a slow grower just because he's been trying to grow in a bunch of different directions. So we may nip off maybe this one if we don't see some growth out of him. We just don't want him to get so far behind in his growth that he can't catch up with our others. So again, these are our 4 hanging lobster claws, and they're doing wonderful. And these are 2 marginatas, continue to get bigger every day. We're really excited with their growth, and those are the first 2 marginatas that we got. And we have some new growth still down here on this one. Always love to see that. And this one is about waist high as it is. These are the other 4 that we received from our vendor, and those were to replace the 2 that died. And as you can see, we've got growth coming out of this one already, and we'll be waiting for growth out of these 3 as well. But the order that he sent us was pretty in rough shape. So if we can just get 2 or 3 of these to live, we were only counting on having 4 in the first place. So this one is obviously doing well, and this one had some good growth on it before we planted. So if we can get 3 or 4 of these to survive, then we'll be very happy. This is our bicolor Jaquini that we are very happy with. It's got two sections of growth, and it's doing extremely well. And that's the That's the upright flower. That'll have red on the bottom and orange at the top. Next up is these are our vertical lobster claws, our standing lobster claws. These were the original lobster claws. They'll be red and black towards the tips. And this guy just seems to be getting a little bit too much sun where he's at. So we'll go ahead and make sure he's got a little bit better shade, just so he sees better sustained growth. And then also this one as well. He's doing very well. Our gingers are all doing good. All 5 are growing. We'll probably get ready to transplant them into bigger pots soon, and get them ready for winter. But these 2, 3 will probably outgrow their pots very soon, so I want to make sure that they have room to grow as well. And then this is our Caribbean red, and everything is doing very well. Just keeps getting larger, and we're excited. There's nothing negative there with that plant at all. So, and with our 4 lobster claws, next time you see them, they will probably also be in larger pots as well, just so we can go ahead and maintain positive growth as it starts to get colder, and we don't want the pot size to restrict their growth either. So next time you see these 4, they will probably be in the next size, larger pots, just so we can keep having continued growth. So let's walk around to the side of the garage and we'll show you how that palau is doing. That's our macaw flower that we transplanted not too long ago. It's doing very well. Show you what that looks like now. And that's here on the side of the garage. Doing very well. Just had another full leaf. Taking the shock of moving very well from the front. We'll go ahead and take you around to the side now. We finally did get our She Kong rhizome that was lost in the mail. It arrived 10 days late from the date that it was shipped. So we were tracking it the whole way, and we did also let our vendor know our concerns, because when it arrived, of course, it was not as fresh as what we normally would expect from him. But also to let him know that if it doesn't survive, that we would be looking to have the plant replaced, and just kind of putting him on notice that hey, we did receive the plant, but it's not in the normal condition. We will give it the best, healthiest environment that we can, but also be prepared that if something is not to happen in 5 to 7 weeks, that we'd look at having you replace it. And he was very comfortable with that, said of course, and that's again why he's one of our favorite sellers. So we'll go ahead and show you what our plants look like on the side of the house and the growth rate there. So this is our Vellerigera root beer, and it's started to show signs of growth there, and that's that's our Hawaii plant. This is our She Kong that arrived 10 days after they had shipped it, and that's the one that got here a little late, that came from Puerto Rico. And again, if we don't see positive growth within 5 to 7 weeks, our seller's already responded that of course he'll replace it for us. And this is our Shogun, which this is our yellow plant that's going to go in the front. It's our Shogun Jade. It should grow to 15 to 20 feet. And that really is the plant that decided that we needed to complement it in the back as well, and also give a nice complement to the Bismarck. That the Bismarck will grow 60 feet. If this one's going to grow 20 in our front yard, we really wanted to have that nice background, lush environment for the back, and give a nice complement to the Bismarck. So we'll be getting 2 more plants next year. That will actually should be our last variety of plants that we're going to be getting. These are our Black Magics. Just started to show its first leaf, still starting to show its first leaf, but growing very, very fast. Our Marginata did the same thing. And then this one has got 3 different types of growth. You can see leaves in 2 different places, here and here as well. And then our Prince of Darkness is in the back. Both have positive growth. Nothing's rotting. Everything seems to be doing very well. Something to tell you about these rhizomes is we're having trouble where they're rotting here, and then how quickly they rotted down. Every time that it goes to rain, we do cover them with either sandwich baggies or jewelry bags, or just anything that you can get to cover the top of this and keep it from holding water, just to keep that rhizome from rotting. We weren't really happy with that cellar when we had got all of his rhizomes, because they were a little bit more dry than what we were used to. But as we've had those a couple of weeks and used a little extra care when nurturing them, and which is just covering them up anytime it rains, making sure that those rhizomes don't rot, we're really happy that how fast and how large those rhizomes have got. So everything that we've got from Hawaii we've been really happy with as well. And we would probably go with that seller again if he had anything that we really were looking for. So let's go ahead and show you what we've got in the front. And these are the 4 that we got from Hawaii. We're seeing positive growth in everything that we've got, which these are the tricolor rhizomes. That's the purple, the white, and the green. The only issue that we're having up here is something's starting to eat the plants a little bit at night, so we're going to have to do a little research and find out what may be attacking the plants here and here, just to make sure that we don't lose any of the success that we've got. And these are our 2 from Puerto Rico in the back, continuing to do well, and some new growth in the back as well. These are our 4 granadas. We've got new leaves here and here. Again, we just had a little bit of a challenge with insects or something eating these at night. So we'll just make sure we don't lose any of that positive growth and keep moving forward. These are our Sassy Pink live rhizomes. These were actually 7 weeks old to this day. And we dug these up earlier today to make sure that we had growth still, or we thought that we had lost these rhizomes, because we're supposed to see growth within 5 to 7 weeks, and we had not. So we dug this one up earlier, and we do still have positive growth. The rhizome is still viable. But also, just to let you know, when you check the rhizomes, you're supposed to squeeze the base, make sure that they may be rotted or not. So that would show that it appears to be rotted, but when we actually dug this up, there was positive growth on the end. So just always only dig them up as a last resort. And it was, being as it's been 7 weeks and we hadn't seen anything, so we just wanted to make sure that we were still moving forward with those as well. And those are our Sassy Pink live rhizomes. This one is actually repotted from last week. This is our bicolor zucchini from the front. We went ahead and potted it. It seemed to be having some trouble in the ground. Not sure if it was due to being eaten or what the challenge may have been, but we figured we needed to go ahead and transplant it. We are going to move it around to the back anyway, so we were just getting it ready for that move. And we figured at this point, with it growing so slow and being eaten, that it couldn't hurt it any more than it was. So we went ahead and gave it some fresh soil and repotted it as well. This is our other bicolor zucchini from up here, and again, those will be the bicolor with the red on the bottom, orange on the top. Should be about 8 to 10 feet tall, and we'll put those around back as well. These are our St. Rose orthotrichas, and those are doing very well. Working on its first full leaf there, doing really well. These are our miniature Andromedas. They actually both started to show growth this week. So we've got our first full leaf here and our first full leaf here. And again, those are at 7 weeks before they've shown any growth. So we're really happy to see that. And this is our macaw flower that we're going to be joining the other one around back. And it's, as you can see, we've got growth here and growth here that we're really excited about. So it's doing very well. It's getting ready to be transplanted around back with its partner by the garage, and to give that a more lush and full looking feel back there. So we were just waiting for it to get a little bit stronger, and it's almost there to be replanted. This is our miniature Laspatha. It's doing very well. Just encouraged to see positive growth out of that, and hopefully we'll see some offshoots out of that soon. So last week we told you that we were going to go ahead and plant a golden pothos variegated vine around one of the oak trees in the front. and we've gone ahead and done that, so we want to show you what that looks like now. So this is our golden pothos that we've planted around our oak tree in the front of our property, and that's a variegated vine that'll grow and attach itself to the trees using the nodes that come out as it grows, and it'll get much larger. We've planted 2 on both sides of the tree. So we planted this using a mix of sand and potting soil to keep it dry, and also keep the soil, keep it dry but flowing, get the moisture through it, so that it doesn't retain too much water and so that the vines will rot. But you do want these holding a little bit more water, because it was used to being rooted in a glass of water for several weeks. So you do want it to hold as much water as possible, but you still want it to be draining, which is where we are. We make sure we water this about twice a week, and of course we gave it a little bit of coffee when we planted it. So we are happy to see that. I can't wait to see it grow. So updates for this week is we definitely did get our She Kong. We're excited. We're a little concerned because we've never had a plant go more than 7 days. So this is 10, but we did let our vendor know our concerns. He addressed them, said he didn't have any problems at all replacing it if it didn't grow within the next 5 to 7 weeks. So really we have nothing to worry about. It's a blessing we got it. We're really glad to have it. We just hope we have continued growth, and of course we hate to see a plant struggle when it doesn't have to. Just like our Shogun, we were able to continue to get a leaf out of that, and even with some of the plants from Hawaii at 7 days, we were able to continue to get leaves to sprout out of the new growth at 7 days. So it was a fresh rhizome, I'm sure, when it was shipped, but that being said, it was in UPS's care for another 3 or 4 days, which would dry it out and make it more susceptible to all kinds of different heat issues. So that's where that is. So next week we will keep moving forward, and we can't wait to show you a new plant. We should have another one being shipped from Hawaii next week. I'm sorry, from Puerto Rico next week. We can't wait to have you back. Until then, may your coffee be strong and your cups stay full. Thanks. Let me get out of the rain. See ya.